Good morning, everyone. This is Diane. I'm here to show you the Mermaid smash books that are completed so that I can get them listed in my shop this evening. I was going to wait and list all 6 smash books together, but I decided to list them in pairs. That way I can just deal with taking 2 boxes to the post office at a time instead of juggling 6. But before I get to those, I want to show you this little Happy Mail that came to me all the way from Australia. Leanda had told me that she was sending me, I think she said, cigarette cards that she found. She had told me a long time ago that she had some. If she could find them, she would send them to me. So I think that's what's in here, but look at the gorgeous stamps. This says, "Deliver happiness to you." Isn't that cute? There's some washi tape, but that is so beautiful. Okay. Shirley Barber's Fairies. Oh, look at that. That's lovely. Oh, there's a little fairy puppy sitting next to her, whistling with her, and the birds that are singing. There's a pot of gold. This is adorable. Thank you so much. Can you see that image on there? Oh, she sent me several of them. That's very pretty. And you can write on that some flowers. A little sticker that says, "It's for you." That's cute. Oh, this is a label. Santa Vittoria. Sparkling something. Another flower. Music paper punched out. Try not to tear that with the paper clip. This is stamped with archival ink. So it looks like it's stamped on the tea bag paper. Thank you very much. That is gorgeous. That will be wonderful in collage. Can't wait to play with that. And she let me know that it's archival ink, so it's okay to get it wet. Here's another one. This one's a darker color. That's a really cool idea. Vintage photo distress ink. So I better keep those separate, because they will run if I get them wet. The ink will run. Here's an old receipt from 1971. Murex Paint Company. Oh, look at that cool paper clip. This is a little copy of Midsummer Night's Dream section with a rose on it. Beautiful colors there, Leanda. What did you do to that? I love it. Look at this rusty look on this paper. I love this. This one has stamps in it. She always sends me some stamps. Denmark. Cool. Looks like these are all from Denmark. I think I've told you before that I have a sister-in-law from Denmark. I love that. And I love the stamps too. And this is coffee dyed. Look how pretty that is. Look, there's a little man on it. Paperclip. That is so cute. Ah, here are the cigarette cards. Look at these. floor repairs. Bookbinding, perfect. Fixing a carpet. Valance board. Who knew that you could get home repair advice on cigarette cards? Rustic work. Making trellis. And there's a fish. Freshwater fish. Bullhead. Thank you very, very much, Leanda. I love the cigarette cards. I have to say, Leanda's the first one that sent me cigarette cards, and I had never heard of them before. And when she told me that she wanted my address so she could send me some cigarette cards, oh, excuse me, I thought, well, I don't know if I want cigarette cards. I don't smoke. I don't want to promote smoking. I had no idea what they were. And when she sent them to me, I was like, oh, yes, I do want cigarette cards. So thank you very, very much, Leanda. I really, really appreciate it. And everything else, too, that you sent. Now let me show you the Mermaid journals. This is the one you saw me working on, I think. So it's got the shimmer painted over the cover. And it measures 8.5 by 11.5, so it's quite large. This is from the kit. It's a... I showed you the cover from the paper stack. So I made 2 journals and used up the whole stack. So this is one of the cards cut from that, and I painted the shimmer over that too, and backed it to some navy blue cardstock. And then I stamped this stamp that is from Jen Bishop's Dreams, etc. website. So I'll try to remember to link her shop. And there's the back. It's bound with a 1-inch ring here, and I used my Bind It All to do it. It ended up with the paper sticking out at the bottom a tiny, tiny fraction. I don't know why that happened, but I just want you to be aware of that. I love this beautiful marbled paper that I chose for the end papers. I think it just looks watery. And then I used my This Book Belongs To stamp and added the seahorse to that. If you saw the videos called Make a Mess With Me, you know that I painted the white sides of the papers, and it came through on a lot of the papers, and I just like the effect. It just adds to the watercolor look. I think it's really cool. And if there are pages that you aren't fond of the painting, because there are some that aren't my favorites, but just remember you're going to be gluing stuff on top of the pages, so you can choose the ones that aren't your favorites and cover them up. Of course, I hope you're going to cover up most of the pages, but leave the mermaids showing because they're so cute. So I did add some stenciling to some of the painted papers just to add some texture and depth. And here is a vellum pocket that I created with a piece of cardstock. And then this is a tag that I made with my Cricut, and you can write on the back of it. I love this fiber. Looks watery, oceany. Lots of room for you to glue things. This is a little seahorse in the seaweed that I made with my Cricut, and I added quite a few of my ombre colored index cards that I just got at Walmart. And this is a piece from the collection, from the paper stack. There's a little mermaid, looks like she's dreaming. There's some of the colored paper. I used different media for coloring the papers. There was some sprays, distress oxides, inks and distress oxide sprays, and some homemade sprays. And in the other book I also used some watercolors. For this one, the paper got crumpled up at the corner here, so I tore a piece of that, this paper that I discarded because I had used alcohol ink and I didn't like the way it went through so dark. So I just tore a corner of that page off and used it as a little tuck spot here and made a large tag out of this with some eyelash trim. This says, "You can find me where I can touch the sea." There's a mermaid's tail right there. She's got a little sparkle on her tail. There's a stamp. There's a bunch of mermaids on that little pocket there. This is one of the elements from the collection, and another index card, and then this I made with my Cricut. I love the way this paper turned out. Wallpaper pocket or envelope here. I just glued a little element from the paper stack, and I included some things inside that you can use as journaling cards, glue them on, whatever, and I'll put some more pieces in there, but it'll just be small pieces of the cutoffs that you're going to get. This I made with my Cricut, and I decided not to glue it down because if I leave it like this, you can glue a picture or an image and then glue it down to whatever page you want. So that is tucked in your envelope. And of course, you can put memorabilia and stuff in your envelope, and this is a piece of wallpaper border. There's another mermaid, another pocket that I decorated. This is a card from this collection, and you can cut that right there if you want to, or leave it as it is and use it as a photo mat or journal card or whatever you'd like. Here's a journal card and an index card. There's a seahorse stamped up there. I added a piece of sheer ribbon to the edge of this pocket, kind of pleated it up and stitched it on. I did use turquoise thread for the sewing throughout this book. This says, "Every day can be mermazing." And there's a little card made from the cutoffs. This is a pocket made from one of the offcuts, and I used this piece of mylar or whatever it is that somebody sent me. It's sheer, and you can see the seahorses through it. And I made a little card out of another cutoff piece, and I made this with my Cricut. It opens up and you can write on it. And then this was made with my Cricut, and I put it on as a tuck spot and made a little journaling card, again with Jen's stamp. And on the back, I again used the marbled paper, and I sewed two pieces of the offcuts together to form this little tuck spot, and cut some long offcuts and rounded the corners and tucked them in here, so you can use them as photo mats or journaling, move them around the book, whatever you'd like to do. And all of these offcuts will be included with the journal. Some of these small pieces will go in the envelope. And I may have to cut, I don't know, I may have to cut some of the pieces a little bit. I'm not sure how what box I'm going to use, but I'll figure it out before I list it because I'll have to have it all weighed. So this will be in my shop at what time? 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time this evening. Saturday, August 3rd? Yes, Saturday, August 3rd, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here's the second one. This one was a green book to start with. So these little cards say Magical Mermaid. So this is Blue Magical Mermaid. I was going to call this one Green Magical Mermaid, but it doesn't look very green anymore. But there's green here. I'm still gonna call this Green Magical Mermaid because the book was green. You can still see some green around the border. I painted it with a wash of white acrylic paint and some shimmer, and it kind of turned it silvery, but it does still have a bit of green. And on this one, I put some mulberry paper behind it. I wish I had thought to do that on the first one. And this piece of paper was just a small strip that I had, but I love all the colors in there. And this was a big clump of this blue fiber. I had a tough time tearing that, but I left those fibers on there because I thought they were really cool. And there's the back. Again, 1-inch silver rings, O-rings, and the seahorse on that again. So I'm just going to flip through. These are the pages that some of them were colored with watercolors. This one has paint on this side, but you know, they're underwater. You can cover that with something if you don't like it. You can find me where I can touch the sea again. For these small pieces, I just used some stenciling and inks to color the backs. Some distress inks. Some paint or ink or something got on this corner, but I love it. It's around her tail, and it just, I don't know, it just adds to the watercolor look of this watery page. The seahorse is up there. The wallpaper envelope. We'll have more pieces in there. Again, you can cut this into pieces. This one has seaweed at the bottom. The little card. This one had too much of a splotch of blue up there, so I just put some really pretty lace over it. Okay, so there you go, 2 Mermaid Smash books going in my shop, which will be listed below, and I will also link Dreams Etc., where you can find this lovely mermaid stamp. They will be in the description below. Link, I said list, but I meant link. So these will be listed in my shop 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Leanda, for the fun Happy Mail you sent me. Bye-bye.